Dear friends, this is Dr. M. Vijay Alexander from MEAG TNPSC Academy. Let us discuss the key current affairs for November 19th, 2024. In 2021, Meta, the social media company, was fined rupees 213.14 crore by the Competition Commission of India for engaging in unfair trade practices through the updated WhatsApp privacy policy. The Commission has also directed Meta to immediately cease anti-competitive practices. In the first 6 months of the current financial year, the production of minerals including iron ore, manganese ore and primary aluminium has increased. India, the world's second largest producer aluminium, is also among the top 10 countries in refined copper production. India ranks fourth in iron ore production. Due to severe air pollution levels in Delhi, the Supreme Court has ordered the implementation of strict restrictions. To control the rising air pollution, the Supreme Court directed states in Delhi and the National Capital Region to immediately implement Stage 4 measures under the Graded Response Action Plan, that is GRAP. The court also stated that these restrictions should remain in effect even if the air quality index improves to below 450 points. GRAP is a set of air pollution control measures implemented in Delhi and its surrounding areas based on the severity of environmental conditions. It was first introduced in 2017. A smaller cabinet comprising 21 members has assumed office in the new government of Sri Lanka. Harini Amarasuriya has been reappointed as the Prime Minister. This move is set to fulfill Tissanayaga's commitment to governance reforms. The central government plans to repeal the 65-year-old law that disqualifies MPs on the issue of holding dual profit-making positions and introduce a new law. During the 16th Lok Sabha, a parliamentary committee led by Kalraj Misra examined the dual profit office issue. Based on the committee's recommendations, the Ministry of Law has drafted the Parliamentary Disqualification Prevention Bill 2024. This bill aims to repeal the existing 1959 Parliamentary Disqualification Prevention Act and replace it with a new law to address the dual profit office issue. The bill proposes removing Section 4 of the current law, which temporarily suspends disqualifications. It will also redefine what constitutes dual profit-making positions in line with the current circumstances. The committee had extensively reviewed this legislation during the 16th Lok Sabha and recommended the Ministry of Law provide a detailed explanation of what constitutes a dual profit office. Additionally, the new bill should ensure that MPs appointed under central government schemes such as the Swachh Bharat Mission, Smart City Project, and Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kausalya Yojana are not disqualified for holding dual profit-making positions. An overview of coaching centers and the central government's guidelines. The central government has issued new guidelines for competitive exam coaching centers prohibiting misleading advertisements such as claims of 100% success rates. The guidelines mandate accurate disclosure of course details, duration, faculty qualifications, fees, refund policies, success rates, and job guarantees, banning false or exaggerated claims. According to data from associations of coaching centers, 48,000 centers are operational across India. In the 2023 and 24 financial year, these centers contributed rupees 5,517 crore in GST, and their annual revenue is estimated at rupees 50,000 to 60,000 crore. With the growing number of exam participants, this revenue is expected to reach rupees 1.5 lakh crore in the next 5 years. For instance, the number of candidates for the UPSC preliminary exam increased from 3.3 lakh in 2007 to 13 lakh in 2023. Similarly, 23.36 lakh candidates appeared for NEET in 2023, competing for approximately 1.9 lakh medical seats. Despite the rising numbers, only about 5 to 10% of candidates typically succeed, highlighting intense competition. Concerns over safety were amplified when flooding in a private IAS coaching center's library in Delhi in July resulted in the tragic death of three students, including two women. The Supreme Court has criticized coaching centers for becoming death traps and emphasized that centers failing to meet safety standards should not be permitted to operate. Some states, like Goa, have enacted laws to regulate coaching centers, while states like Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and Bihar have introduced certain regulations. However, these measures often remain on paper, given that millions of students' futures are at stake. It is widely anticipated that states will rigorously implement the central government's newly issued guidelines. At the G20 summit held in Brazil, Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the need for reforms in international organizations, highlighting how the inclusion of the African Union in the G20 amplified the voice of the global south. This statement drew additional attention as India has long been advocating for a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. US President Joe Biden has authorized Ukraine to use long-range missiles against Russia. Reports indicate that Russia has deployed hundreds of North Korean soldiers in the war against Ukraine. In response, the US has permitted Ukraine to utilize the long-range attack missiles provided by America to counter these developments. The Supreme Court Collegium has recommended to the central government the appointment of Justice T. Krishnakumar of the Madras High Court as the Chief Justice of the Manipur High Court. The National Task Force constituted by the Supreme Court regarding the safety of doctors has stated that a separate central law is not required to prevent crimes against doctors and medical staff. India's negotiations for free trade agreements with the countries such as the European Union and the United Kingdom are progressing as scheduled with no delays, according to a senior official from the central government. India has already entered into FTAs with countries like Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and the United Arab Emirates. In addition to the European Union and the United Kingdom, India is also engaged in FTA talks with Australia, Peru, Sri Lanka, and Oman. FTA aims to reduce import-export duties and facilitate measures to boost trade volume between the participating countries. These agreements also simplify regulations to attract investments and promote trade. The chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, Ravi Agarwal, has stated that the direct tax collection for the current financial year is expected to exceed rupees 22.07 lakh crore. The 12th World Tamil Economic Conference will be held in Washington, D.C., as decided at the conference held in Malaysia According to its organizing chairman V.R.S. Sambath, the World Tamil Economic Conference took place in Kuala Lumpur from November 15th to 17th. The conference passed resolutions emphasizing the welfare of Tamils, urging the Indian government, Tamil Nadu government, and the Malaysian government to take action. Malaysia and India have signed a memorandum of understanding to create a Tamil chair at the University of Malaya. As part of this agreement, the Malaysian government will provide infrastructure and India will provide faculty for the chair. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has urged the 16th Finance Commission to recommend increasing the share of taxes allocated to states from the central revenue to 50%. The Chief Minister praised the 15th Finance Commission for increasing the tax revenue share to states by 41%. He expressed concern that only 33.16% of the central government's total tax revenue has been shared with the states over the past 4 years. He also noted that the central government's significant increase in the upper taxes and additional charges has been a key factor in this situation. The rising state contributions for centrally funded schemes are further exacerbating the financial situation of states like Tamil Nadu. He emphasized that increasing the state's share of the central revenue to 50% would be fair and acceptable to all. He pointed out that reducing financial support for well-performing states and reallocating funds to underdeveloped regions could negatively impact overall national development as well as reduce the tax share for states that are already struggling. The Tamil Nadu Higher Education Department has issued a warning to professors stating that strict action will be taken if research students are engaged in personal work. Report submitted by the Chief Minister to the Finance Commission. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin provided an explanation to the Finance Commission regarding the three major challenges faced by Tamil Nadu, including natural disasters. For example, he highlighted the loss caused by natural calamities, the increasing elderly population in Tamil Nadu, and the changes in the demographic structure. He also discussed how Tamil Nadu, one of the most urbanized states in the country, faces challenges related to limited land and water resources while the population continues to grow. The Chief Minister requested the Finance Commission to allocate Rs 6.84 lakh crore as grants for the implementation of 13 key projects in Tamil Nadu. He also recommended setting aside Rs 5,500 crore to address disasters. Tamil Nadu, being one of the largest economies in India, contributes 8.87% to the country's gross domestic product. That state's total GDP is estimated at Rs 31.55 lakh crore. The Chief Minister emphasized the need for funds in 13 critical areas to address various challenges, including disaster management, urban flooding, drought relief, coastal management, infrastructure development, power sector improvements, transportation upgrades, ocean economy development, healthcare infrastructure, sports facilities, electricity supply improvements, water level and groundwater recharge, conservation of heritage buildings, and facilities for people with disabilities. He requested the Finance Commission to allocate Rs 6.84 lakh crore for infrastructure development in these 13 areas, which will help improve the state's overall development. Regarding direct tax sharing, 41% of the funds are shared with the state governments, while 59% is allocated to the central government. In the 1990s, three states were considered wealthy and one state was classified as a poor state. This disparity has now increased to six states being wealthy, and this is the primary reason for the higher tax revenue sharing towards the less prosperous states. The average age of the population in Tamil Nadu is 36.4 years. It is noteworthy that by the time the 16th Finance Commission's recommendation period ends, the average age of Tamil Nadu's population will be 38.5 years. The scheme "உங்களை தேடி உங்கள் ஊரில்" is designed for government machinery to reach the people, listen to their grievance, and immediately provide solutions. The Food Safety Department has warned that penalties and actions will be taken if banned plastic covers are used for parceling food items. The Central Committee on Small and Medium Industry has announced that 10.17 lakh new job opportunities have been created in the khadi and rural industry sector in the country. The Tamil Development and Information Minister MP Swaminathan has handed over a book royalty amount of rupees 90 lakh for the works of 9 Tamil scholars who were nationalized. The scholars whose works have been nationalized include the late Dr. S. Satyaseelan, Dr. Arasu Pavalar, S. Balasundaram, Dr. K. P. Aravanan, Dr. Tirunavukarasu, Dr. Kumaravelan, poet Velavendan, and Tamil scholars Dr. A. Azhagappan, Ramalingam, also known as Edil Mudalvan. Their books have been nationalized by the Tamil Development Department of the Tamil Nadu government in the current financial year 2024-25. The Coco World Cup will be held for the first time in India in 2025 at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Sports Complex in New Delhi. The president of the Indian Coco Association, PT Usha, has extended full support for the event. Both men's and women's teams will participate in this World Cup. Teams from 24 countries will compete in the tournament. Italy's Yannick Sinner won the men's singles title at the ATP Finals. This victory marks his first ever ATP Finals title, and he achieved this remarkable feat on his home turf, impressing fans and players alike. Contribution of the State Bank of India. In 1921, three banks were merged to form the Imperial Bank of India. At that time, it has 250 branches. In 1955, it was renamed as the State Bank of India through an Act of Parliament. Today, it has grown into the largest bank in the country. SBI holds 22.4% of the total banking deposits in the country. It serves over 50 crore customers. SBI handles 20 crore UPI transactions daily, which is notable. Thank you.